heavy storm of blue energy waves moved across the empty space near the human exploration vessel Orion. The crew stood in silence as the strange light flickered outside the windows. It looked like a quiet storm, but every person on the ship could feel something was wrong. It felt like the space around them was holding its breath. Jalen, a young human engineer, checked the readings on his screen. "Captain, something is inside the storm," he said. The captain stepped close. "A ship." "No," Jalen whispered. "It's small. Like a pod." A second later, the pod appeared on the screen. It was silver, cracked, and drifting without control. The storm pushed it closer and closer toward the Orion, as if the storm wanted them to take it. "Pull it in," the captain ordered. Jalen and two others ran toward the docking bay. When the pod finally connected, the doors opened with a soft hiss. A cold wind filled the room. Inside the pod lay a figure. Tall, fragile, pale skin with a soft glow. Silver-white hair that floated slightly, even though there was no wind. Her clothes were torn, and strange golden patterns on her arms flickered weakly like dying lights. Jalen froze for a moment. "Is she a human?" "No," the medic whispered. "Definitely not human." The crew had never seen anyone like her. But even though she looked alien, she also looked calm, almost peaceful, even in pain. When Jalen stepped closer to help move her, the medic grabbed his arm. "Be careful," he warned. "She might be dangerous." But Jalen shook his head. "She's hurt. Look at her." He slowly placed his hand on her wrist to check her pulse. The room filled with soft light. Everyone gasped. The glow came from her skin, and it spread to Jalen's hand like warm, gentle waves. The golden patterns on her arm brightened. Her breathing, which had been slow and uneven, steadied. Jalen pulled his hand back in shock and the glow faded. The medic stared at him. "What did you do?" "I don't know," Jalen said. His heart pounded. "I just touched her." When he touched her again, the same soft light returned, even brighter. Her chest rose more evenly. The golden patterns started moving like flowing water. The medic whispered, "She's healing." The pod door suddenly closed behind them, making the crew jump. A small device inside the pod projected a faint hologram of symbols and lines, nothing the humans could read. But the images showed a royal crest, a symbol of a powerful alien empire the humans had only heard about in old space communications. A princess. A royal. Someone extremely important. The crew carried her to the medical room. Jalen stayed beside her because the glow wouldn't appear for anyone else. When another medic tried to check her wounds, nothing happened. But when Jalen touched her shoulder, the healing glow moved across her skin again. "It reacts only to you," the captain said. Jalen nodded. "I don't understand why." They placed her on a clean medical bed. Her breathing became stronger every time he touched her hand or arm. The golden patterns slowly rebuilt themselves, like tiny rivers coming back to life. Hours passed. The storm outside the ship finally faded, leaving the Orion quiet again. Most of the crew walked away to continue their duties, but Jalen stayed near her bed. He watched her face. She looked peaceful but tired, like someone who had run far and finally stopped. Then her eyes opened. They glowed softly, deep silver with rings of blue. She looked around the room with confusion, fear, and exhaustion. Her eyes landed on Jalen and something changed in them. They softened. Jalen stepped closer. "You're safe," he said. She blinked slowly. Her lips moved, trying to form words. Instead of speaking common galactic language, she spoke a soft, musical tone he didn't understand. She tried again, her voice weak and trembling. Her hand reached out. Jalen took it gently. The golden glow burst softly around their hands. Her eyes widened with relief. Her breathing steadied again and the shaking in her body stopped. One single word slipped from her lips, quiet, uncertain, but full of meaning. "Vera." Jalen frowned. "What does that mean?" But she closed her eyes again, too weak to continue. The door opened and the captain entered. He studied the sleeping princess. "We need answers," he said softly. "Who she is, why she was in that pod, and why you can heal her." Jalen nodded. I don't think she's dangerous." She was scared. "And she's alone." The captain let out a slow breath. "Until we know more, we protect her. The galaxy might come looking for her." Jalen looked down at her glowing patterns and the soft rise and fall of her breath. He didn't know why, but he felt a strong pull to help her. Not because of duty. Not because of orders. Because when she took his hand, he felt something deep, something warm, like she trusted him without even knowing him. As he stood there, she whispered again in her sleep. It sounded like the same word, soft and hopeful. "Vera." Jalen didn't know what the word meant. But he knew one thing clearly. Whatever brought her falling from the sky, it wasn't over. And somehow he was now part of her story. A story much bigger than he had ever imagined. The medical room on the Orion was quiet except for the soft beeping of machines. Jalen sat beside the sleeping princess, his hand resting lightly over hers. Each time their skin touched, a warm golden glow moved across her body, slowly repairing the thin cracks of light that ran along her arms. He had been there for hours and he didn't feel tired at all. The glow felt peaceful, almost gentle, like touching warm sunlight. When the door opened, Medic Lisa entered with a small tablet. She watched the princess's calm breaths and sighed. "Her body is healing," she said softly. "But only when you're close." Jalen looked up. "Why me? I'm just an engineer." "That's what we all want to know," Lisa answered. Before Jalen could say more, the princess stirred. Her eyelids fluttered and she slowly opened her silver blue eyes. Her gaze moved around the room, full of confusion and weakness, until it landed on Jalen. Her breathing eased instantly. She whispered the same word as before, but this time her voice carried more strength. "Vera." Jalen leaned closer. "I don't know what that means. But you're safe. Do you understand?" She studied him for a long, quiet moment. Then she moved her fingers gently to his hand. The glow responded like water rushing toward warmth. Her shoulders relaxed. She whispered again, but this time she tried using broken common speech. "You are Vera?" Jalen shook his head. "No. My name is Jalen." She blinked. "Jalen." Her voice was soft, almost fragile. "Your touch heals." He nodded slowly. "It looks that way." She took a careful breath, struggling to sit up. Jalen quickly supported her back. The moment he touched her again, the glow surrounded her like soft firelight. "You should rest," Jalen said gently. But she shook her head. "No. You must hear truth." Lisa stepped forward. "Princess, please take it slow." The princess looked at her with tired eyes but nodded. She was weak but she was not confused. She knew exactly who she was and what had happened. "My name? Leora," she said softly. "I am daughter of the High Council of Elora." Jalen exchanged a look with Lisa. The Elora Empire was powerful, ancient, secretive, and far away from human space. Leora continued, her voice weak. "My ship attacked. Our shields failed. I fled, in pod. I thought," she paused, closing her eyes. "I thought I'd die in the storm." Jalen felt her hand tremble. Gently he held it. The glow returned. Her shaking stopped. Leora looked at their hands, then at his face. "Only one, with Vera energy, can heal me." "But I don't have anything special," Jalen insisted. "I'm normal." Leora studied him, her silver eyes softening. "No human should have this. No human should be able." Jalen swallowed. "Then why does it work?" She shook her head. "I do not know. But you saved me. Without you, my light would fade." Lisa stepped closer. "Princess Leora, your body doesn't respond to our medicine. We can't help you without him." Leora turned back to Jalen. "Then Jalen must stay." He felt heat rise in his chest. "I'm not leaving," he said without thinking. "You're safe with us." Her eyes softened, and for a moment she looked less like a royal figure and more like a lost traveler who finally found someone kind. But the moment didn't last long. A loud alarm blinked on the wall, and a guard rushed into the room. "Captain wants an update," he said quickly. "We detected another ship in the distance. Unknown origin." Leora stiffened immediately. "If it is them," she swallowed, "I must recover fast. They seek me." "But you can't recover without rest," Lisa warned. Leora shook her head. "I have no choice." Her breathing grew weaker again as she pushed herself upright. Her golden patterns flickered dangerously. Jalen stepped close and held her hands. The glow spread across her body in one long wave. Leora gasped, not in pain but in relief. The golden patterns brightened, flowing smoothly under her skin. She looked up at Jalen, shocked. "Your touch grows stronger." "Why?" He shook his head. "I don't know. Maybe because I want to help." Her eyes widened at those simple words. Kindness was not something she expected in this strange place. A human showing care toward an Eliran royal was unthinkable in her world. "You protect me," she whispered. "Even when you do not know me." Jalen gave a small smile. "You don't have to know someone to help them." Leora stared at him like she was hearing a new truth, one her people had forgotten long ago. Before she could speak again, the captain entered. His voice was calm but serious. The unknown ship is getting closer. Leora's face went pale. Jalen, she whispered, they come for me. You must stay close. Your touch shields my energy. Without you they can sense me. The captain looked at Jalen. Is this true? Jalen wasn't sure, but he nodded anyway. If she says so, then I'll stay. Leora's fingers tightened around his hands. The golden glow brightened again, fuller, warmer, almost alive. The captain watched the light with wide eyes. What is happening? Leora breathed slowly, gathering strength from the glow. Humans and Ellerons were never meant to mix, she said softly. But this human carries energy my people thought lost. Jalen felt confused, but there was no time to think. Leora's patterns were shining brighter than before, like her body was waking up from a long sleep. You will live, Jalen said quietly. Leora looked at him with soft surprise. Why do you say it like a promise? Because it is. Her eyes warmed and she whispered, then I trust you, Jalen of Earth. The glow rose again, covering her arms, her hair, even her face in a gentle shine. She was still weak, but she was no longer dying. The impossible touch of a human was bringing a princess back to life. And the galaxy outside the Orion was about to learn that nothing was impossible anymore. The wind moved softly through the broken clearing as Milo and Princess Arya sat near a small fire he built from fallen branches. The morning light made the forest look calm, but Milo could still feel the weight of last night. Arya had almost died. Now she sat beside him, her skin healed, her breathing steady, and her eyes filled with questions she could not hide anymore. She watched her hands for a long moment. They were clean, uninjured, smooth like nothing had ever touched them. Milo could see she wasn't afraid now, only confused. He was confused too, but he stayed calm for her. Milo offered her a cup of warm water. She took it slowly as if she wasn't sure she deserved something so gentle. She drank, then looked at him with those bright blue eyes that seemed to glow faintly. You should not be possible, she said quietly. Milo raised an eyebrow. I get that a lot. She gave a small laugh. It was weak but real. Then her expression became serious again. When you touched me, my wounds closed. They didn't just stop bleeding. They healed completely. No human, no alien, no healer can do that. Not even my own people. She paused. My bloodline has ancient gifts. But even we cannot do what you did. Milo didn't know what to say. He had always lived a normal life. He was a mechanic, not some chosen hero or mystical healer. He fixed ships. He helped people. That was it. I don't have any special power, he said. I was just trying to help. But Arya shook her head. It is more than that. My people carry something inside us. A deep energy, a force passed through generations. It reacts to touch. It reacts to living things. Only those with imperial blood can activate it. But your touch changed it. Milo stared at her, unsure. Changed? How? Arya lifted her hand and placed it on the tree beside her. The bark shimmered slightly as if touched by soft light. Milo blinked in surprise. I could not do this before, she said. The energy was weak in me. My parents feared I would never master it. But now, after you healed me, it is stronger. It is awake. Milo felt a strange chill run down his back, not scary, just unreal. He didn't heal people. He didn't awaken strange alien powers. That wasn't something he understood. Maybe it was just luck, he said, but the words felt small and unsure. Arya looked at him carefully, studying him the same way an old scholar might study a rare artifact. No, she said softly. This was not luck. She leaned forward, lowering her voice. There is an old story in my empire. A story older than our recorded history. It says that one day someone not from our world, someone with a simple heart, would touch an imperial and unlock their full power. They said this person would not be a warrior, not a noble, not someone who seeks glory. Just someone who helps others because it is right. Milo blinked again. That sounds like a lot of pressure. Arya smiled a little. It was only a legend. Something children heard before bed. But last night, it felt real. Milo leaned back against a rock, confused and thoughtful. He didn't want legends or responsibilities. He just wanted to keep Arya alive and get her somewhere safe. But he also understood she needed answers, and he wanted to help her find them. So your powers work differently now because of me? He asked. Yes, she said. And there is more. Arya closed her eyes. The air around her seemed to shift. A pale glow formed around her shoulders, soft and silver like moonlight. It circled her gently before fading again. That glow, she said quietly. Only full-blooded empresses could create it. Even I could not do it before. But last night after you healed me it came naturally. Milo didn't know whether to be amazed or terrified. He stared at his hands as if they belonged to someone else. What does that make me? He asked. Arya shook her head. I don't know. But you are important. You are connected to my bloodline now. He didn't think he wanted to be connected to a royal bloodline, especially not one the entire galaxy respected and feared. Yet Arya didn't look afraid of him. She looked thankful. You saved my life, she said softly. And you gave me back something I thought I lost. You woke a part of me that I didn't know was sleeping. Milo swallowed hard. Her words were heavy but honest. He looked at her again. If your powers are stronger now, does that mean your enemies will come after you? Arya nodded. Yes. And they will come after you too. Because they will want to know how you did it. Milo took a slow breath. He knew this quiet forest was only temporary. Trouble would come soon. They needed to move. Then we need to get you home, he said. Somewhere safe. But Arya hesitated. Home is not safe. Not for me. Not anymore. Milo felt his stomach twist. Why? Arya looked away, her voice soft with pain. Because someone inside the palace tried to kill me. They wanted the throne. They wanted my powers weak. And now that my powers are stronger, they will want me gone even more. Milo felt a firm protective instinct rise inside him. He had helped many strangers before, but this was different. Arya wasn't just in danger, she had been targeted. Someone had tried to take her future away. He stood up and held out his hand. Then we find another way. A safe place. We stay ahead of whoever is chasing you. Arya looked at his hand, then slowly took it. Her fingers were gentle but steady. The connection between them felt calm, as if the moment itself carried a deeper understanding. You don't have to help me, she said. This danger is mine. Milo smiled softly. You were alone when you fell from the sky. But you're not alone now. For a moment she said nothing. Then she nodded with quiet trust. They packed the small camp quickly and began walking deeper into the forest, away from the crash site and away from where her enemies might look first. As they moved, Arya felt the strange new energy inside her respond to each step, like it recognized Milo walking beside her. And Milo, though uncertain, felt something grow inside him, a sense of purpose he had never felt before. Neither of them knew what the galaxy would think when they learned that a simple human had awakened the power of an ancient royal bloodline. But they would face it together. And this was only the beginning of their story. The forest path grew darker as Milo and Arya walked deeper between the tall silver trees. The wind carried a soft humming sound, almost like distant singing. Arya walked slowly, trying to understand the new power inside her, while Milo stayed alert, watching for danger. Even if he didn't have glowing abilities or ancient energy in his blood, he had something else, something he didn't know mattered as much as any power. They crossed a small river with stones that sparkled under the water. Arya looked around with concern. This place, she whispered. I remember it from my childhood trips. The forest protects secrets, but it also reacts to strong emotions. Milo didn't understand what she meant, but he stayed close. Are we safe here? For now, Arya said. But the forest listens. Can sense fear or danger. If someone dangerous enters, the trees warn each other. Before Milo could ask how trees warn each other, he noticed Arya slowing down. Her hand touched the bark of a nearby tree. A soft pulse of silver light spread along the trunk like a wave rolling underwater. It's listening, she said. It knows I am of the Imperial bloodline. Milo watched with quiet amazement. The tree responded to her like a living being with a gentle heartbeat. Arya closed her eyes for a moment, breathing slowly. When she opened them, fear had returned. They are following us, she said in a low voice. Not far behind. Milo felt his chest tighten. He didn't want to fight, not with trained soldiers. He didn't even have a weapon. All he had was his determination to keep Arya alive. But somehow that felt stronger than any weapon he could hold. How many? He asked. 3, maybe 4, Arya said. They are part of the palace's hidden guard. They answer only to whoever tried to kill me. Milo didn't panic. Instead he kept walking forward, thinking fast. We don't turn back. If we keep moving, maybe we can find somewhere safe before they reach us. But Arya shook her head. They move faster than we do. They will reach us soon. They reached a wide clearing filled with glowing blue flowers. The colors reflected on the leaves, making the air shimmer. Arya's eyes widened in recognition. This is the Heart Meadow, she whispered. It increases the power of anyone with Imperial blood. But it can also make emotions stronger. Milo looked at her with worry. Are you okay? I can handle it, she said. But you must stay calm. If the meadow senses fear, it can create illusions. Milo nodded, taking a deep breath. He could stay calm. He had been in difficult situations before. Ship malfunctions, emergencies, accidents. But this was different. The galaxy had never chased him like this. They stepped into the meadow and the flowers brightened under their feet. As they moved through the clearing, Arya stopped suddenly. She turned her head, listening. They're here, she said. Milo looked around, but he didn't see anyone. The meadow was quiet except for the soft glowing lights. Then he heard it, the faint rustle of leaves behind them. Something moved between the trees. Arya stepped closer, her voice calm but strong. They will come from the shadows. They think shadows protect them. But the meadow exposes truth. Milo felt a pressure in the air, like the world was holding its breath. Then out of the darkness, 3 shapes appeared. They were tall, armored, and silent. Their masks hid their faces, but their movements showed confidence and training. Arya stepped forward, lifting her hand. The silver light around her grew brighter. The guards hesitated, unsure why her power seemed stronger than before. You should not be alive, the lead guard said in a cold voice. Your fall should have ended your claim to the throne. Arya's voice did not shake. I survived. And I will not run. The guards began to move toward her. Milo instinctively stepped in front of her, even though he had no armor, no weapon, and no plan. He didn't think about fear. He only thought about protecting her. One of the guards stopped, surprised. A human? Milo kept his voice steady. You're not touching her. The meadow responded to his emotions. Light rippled across the flowers like waves. Arya looked at him with wide eyes. Milo, she whispered. Your energy, the meadow is reacting to you. He didn't feel powerful. He felt like a simple person trying to do something impossible. But maybe that was exactly what the meadow understood. The guards stepped forward again, their armor reflecting the blue light. Milo took another step to block them. His heart beat fast, but not with fear, with purpose. The meadow sensed his determination. The flowers glowed brighter, and a faint golden shimmer formed around him. Milo didn't see it, but Arya did. Her eyes widened. You're amplifying my power, she whispered. Just by being here. The lead guard raised his hand, but before he could reach them, the ground under him pulsed. The flowers around Milo flared with golden and silver light. The meadow itself pushed back the guards with a soft but powerful force, as if the forest refused to let them near him. Arya stepped beside Milo, her silver light now brighter than ever. Together, the golden and silver glows intertwined, forming a soft barrier around them. The guards stumbled back, confused and overwhelmed. What is this? One of them muttered. Arya lifted her chin. Fate, she said. It has chosen a different path. The guards hesitated again, their confidence shaken. They had expected a weak princess with fading power. They had not expected her to stand beside a human who somehow made her stronger. The lead guard lowered his weapon slowly. This changes nothing, he said, but his voice was unsure. We will report what we saw. He turned away and the others followed. They vanished back into the shadows of the trees, leaving the meadow glowing softly around Milo and Arya. Milo exhaled, his legs shaking. I didn't even do anything, he said. Arya touched his arm gently. You did more than you know. Your strength isn't physical. It's something deeper. Something that changes the world around you. He shook his head. I'm just a guy trying to help. And that, she said, is exactly why the galaxy should fear you, and also trust you. Milo didn't feel dangerous. He didn't feel powerful. He felt tired, confused, and somehow more connected to Arya than before. The meadow light faded, but a new understanding stayed between them. Arya looked at him with quiet respect. Everything changed today, she said. Not just for me. For both of us. They left the glowing meadow together, stepping into an uncertain future with more courage than fear. And though neither said it out loud, they both understood something important. Fate itself had shifted because of a human's simple, stubborn strength. The morning sun rose slowly over the quiet forest, spreading warm light across the trees. Milo and Arya walked side by side, tired but calm after what happened in the Heart Meadow. The glowing flowers were now far behind them, but something new stayed between them. Trust, understanding, and a strange bond neither fully understood yet. They kept moving until the trees opened into a long valley. At the far end, hidden between 2 cliffs, stood a small ancient structure made of silver stone. The walls were covered in symbols that shined softly. Arya stopped and placed her hand over her heart. I know this place, she said. It is the Sanctuary of Two Suns. It was built long before the Empire existed. My mother once brought me here when I was young. She said it was the only place where truth could not be hidden. Milo looked at the building with curiosity. It felt peaceful, almost welcoming. Is it safe? Arya nodded. Yes. It was made to protect those who seek harmony. Many emperors came here to think, to learn, or to find answers. They walked toward the entrance. The door opened without being touched, reacting to Arya's presence. Inside the sanctuary, silver light glowed from the walls, making the air feel warm and calm. The floor had two symbols carved into it, one that looked like a sun with sharp rays, and another that looked like a round warm sun with soft edges. Arya stepped between them. These symbols represent the first bond between my people and another alien race. It was the beginning of the first alliance thousands of years ago. Milo looked at the symbols carefully. Why bring us here? Arya turned to him with thoughtful eyes. Because I believe fate brought us here. The guards saw something they did not understand. My enemies will not stop. And now the Empire must decide what to do, fight you, fear you, or respect you. Milo swallowed. He didn't want a galaxy to fear him. All he wanted was to help someone who needed him. But now the whole Empire was involved. Arya stepped closer, her voice soft. Milo, what you did for me, it changed more than my life. It may change everything between humans and my Empire. He shook his head. I just wanted to save you. And you did, she said. But you also awakened energy inside me that was lost. You made the meadow respond to you. You created balance when chaos followed us. The galaxy will see that. Milo didn't think of himself as special, but Arya looked at him with certainty. She walked to the center of the sanctuary and placed both her hands on the cold silver stone. It is time for answers, she whispered. A soft light spread across the room, rising like mist. The symbols on the floor brightened. A deep hum filled the air, and the walls shifted, showing faint images of ancient times. Old battles, lost kingdoms, and two races standing side by side. Then the light formed a shape, an echo of an ancient empress. Her form was soft like smoke, but her presence felt strong. Arya bowed her head respectfully. Great Mother, I ask for guidance. The ancient figure spoke in a calm, echoing voice. Child of the bloodline, you are wounded by betrayal. But you are not alone. Arya looked up slowly. The one beside me, the human. He awakened something in me. Something no one else could. The figure turned to Milo. Though it had no eyes, he felt it observing him deeply. You carry no royal blood, it said. You hold no ancient energy. Yet your spirit is steady. Your heart is clear. The meadow answered you because your strength is rare, human strength, simple and honest. Milo didn't know what to say. He only listened. The figure continued, long ago, our empire learned about humans from faraway worlds. We believed they held no special powers. We believed they were ordinary. We were wrong. Arya stepped closer. What does this bond mean? The ancient voice softened. It means unity. When two beings from different worlds trust each other, their energies connect. The human heart can steady the imperial spirit. Together they form balance. That balance can change fate. Milo looked at Arya. She looked back, her eyes soft. So this was not an accident, Arya said to the ancient empress. Not accident, the figure said. Destiny shaped by choice. You chose to trust a human. He chose to save a stranger. Both choices opened a new path. The room slowly dimmed as the energy faded. The ancient empress dissolved into soft light, leaving Arya and Milo alone in silence. Arya turned to him slowly. The Empire needs to know this truth. They need to understand that humans are not threats, but partners. Milo sighed. Do you think they'll believe you? Arya smiled gently. They will believe me because you will stand beside me. When they see us together, they will see that trust is stronger than fear. Milo rubbed the back of his neck nervously. I don't know anything about royal speeches or politics. You don't need to, Arya said with a warm smile. You only need to be yourself. They rested in the sanctuary until evening, gathering strength for the journey ahead. When the sun began to set, Arya activated a small device she had repaired earlier. A soft light formed a map in the air. This signal will call a neutral imperial ship, she said. The loyal ones. The ones who still believe in peace. They will take us to the palace, but not for a battle. Milo nodded. For a new beginning. The ship arrived quietly, landing in the valley with a soft glow. The crew stepped out, immediately kneeling to Arya when they saw her alive. But their eyes widened when they noticed Milo beside her. Arya raised her hand. This human saved me. and he awakened the power of our bloodline. He is under my protection." The crew looked shocked but also curious. No one spoke against her. Milo stepped onto the ship, feeling a strange mix of fear and excitement. Arya walked beside him with calm confidence. The moment they rose into the sky, leaving the forest behind, something changed in both of them. Their bond was not just about power anymore. It was trust, respect, connection. Far above the planet, the stars stretched across the sky like endless bridges between worlds. And for the first time in the galaxy's history, a human and an Imperial heir stood together, not as enemies or strangers, but as two people who created hope where none existed before. Their journey had not only saved one life. It had created a new bond between two empires. A bond that would shape the future of many worlds.